Hey traders, how are you? How are you doing today? Let me know you can hear me, please. Please type a Y. Yeah, thank you. How are you guys doing? How's trading? How was the weekend? Just getting ready for a new week, trading week. Okay, let me share my screen here. Okay, please let me know you can see my screen. If you could type a Y or something in the chat. Yeah, thank you guys. Just before we get started, a little request: if you could switch your settings on your chat so everyone can see what you type. You can choose to, so all attendees and panelists can see. That would be great for everyone. Welcome everybody. My name is Sol. Just before we get started, let me remind you, we are going to be trading live markets. So anything we say or any trades we take here together, they're not meant to be taken in your own accounts or replicated in your own accounts. Just be responsible for your own trading. As usual, on Mondays, we are going to give a projection for the day, how things are lining up, what we're seeing on the long-term bias, and then if we have some opportunities and some trades to take together, so we might go ahead and trade maybe on smaller time frames or something, so we can have some opportunities to show different entry techniques and trade management techniques as well that might be that may apply to your own systems and strategies. The way I trade is only my way of reading the market, and the way I trade doesn't mean it's the only way to do things or the best one for your routine or trading style. It's just I will try to show concepts that are universal and applicable for all trading styles and techniques and strategies. So let's get started. I will go ahead and go to the daily charts so we can have a big picture of what's going on. Okay, so if we go to the daily, I'll go through the majors, and afterwards, if you trade any other pair and want to share, or you want me to review the pair, of course we can go ahead and do that as well together. So on the majors, we have a lot of bullish activity, of buying activity. We had some days ago, we have this big breakout right here. We have fresh demand in that area. We haven't visited that area again. However, right now we are at a supply level that you can see right there, that whole area of supply. And that's why on the daily chart, you can see we stopped there. And now we're trading inside that range right there. I'm not sure we are going to break that range. I mean, we could break that range any moment, but usually in December we see a slowing down in volatility, so we might not see the breakout, although there have been some attempts to do that. Even right now, you can see this. There was an attempt to do that just a minutes ago. But any push higher will be facing a lot of sellers pushing this market low, and of course, any push down will bring a lot of buyers to push this market up. The overall bias, however, is to the upside. So for me, I will be waiting for any kind of retracement on the daily chart for this demand area to try to catch the next leg higher. That's for the euro. The pound has been very, very volatile and very like all over the place. Last week we have this huge sell-off that it gave us clues that the market might maybe start to turn to the downside. And suddenly today we woke up with this huge gap, something, I believe something during the weekend, maybe something related to the Brexit or something. You can see the huge gap right here. So for the whole day we have been trading to the upside. That gap will work as a support area. So usually gaps are, market will try to fill those gaps, but those gaps also will work as, in this case, as support. So for me, at least, any kind of retracement to this area, to the gap area, I will try to buy. And I guess the failure of that moving to the downside is also it opens the door for a push higher again. However, I think personally I'll keep away from the pound. Has been, you know, all over the place, very choppy, a lot of volatility. But if you guys like it, my bias is to the upside. We have the CAD, which is pushing down, but again, as we go south, we start to face and to meet a new demand here. So every push down will be rejected to the upside. But you can see overall the bias for the USDCAD is to the downside. So I'll be looking for retracements to supply areas. You can see this supply area right here. You can see this one right here. Or if we go even higher, okay, so we have this nice, wait. We have this, wow, what's going on? We have this supply here, and we have a lot of supply over here. So any push to the upside, we will be meeting fresh supply that we can try to trade and take advantage of to push lower. The franc, I guess, a similar story. We're visiting and testing historical lows. I don't see any. We have this right here left, which is where we are right now, but this was so long ago, and let's see if I can go closer to that. So we have that red line right there, which is the beginning of the supply of the demand area, last demand. Right now we're trading on no man's land. So my expectation is any push higher, we will be continued to the lower side. Where's that red line I placed there? We have 50 more pips till we meet that demand area. So we should be this market pushing lower to that red line, and then maybe some demand coming in and buyers coming in. For me, I'll be looking for any kind of pullback to that breaking point that we haven't met again, so I can catch the next leg lower. If we zoom into that area right there, you can see we have very nice supply over there that we haven't visited. So that's a great selling opportunity. Aussie, we're pushing higher and higher. You can see it's just trending. It's very bullish. So again, any kind of retracement to, let's see where we have some demand. So over here. So those are nice opportunities to buy the market when it comes down. So the bias all the way to the upside. Let me see if I find any supply. Where's this movement stopping or likely to stop? Let me see. So I guess it's right now where we are. Like all this would be the supply area. So if we don't see a stop and a retracement right there and just a continuation, there's nothing else but here all the way to those levels. So we have some room to the upside. So my bias is to the upside. For the Aussie, I believe the Kiwi will look the same. The yen kind of neutral. We don't have a very clear bias, but following this channel. So yen, I could be trading the long side and the short side. We are pushing lower and lower. Lately, we have been forming lower highs, pushing against that last support that it's breaking just now. Today, we're breaking it. So we have next demand to stop that move lower, only there, back there. So I do have some pending orders right there, but they might just break and go through. My bias short term, I'm short for this market. If I go to the 5-minute chart or something, I would try to catch a pullback, a little pullback to short this market. Maybe a retracement on the 5-minute chart to this supply, and we might try to sell this market all the way to that demand area right there. Okay, this is a nice pattern. You can see that right there. It's just breaking now. And before we started, I just got into a trade. Let me show you the trade, the pattern. We had this little on the CAD, this little run and a pullback to this little supply right here, and a retracement. So I caught the short right there. I was about to take profit, but then we started talking. We started the trading room. But that's a good point for taking profits. If the market finally breaks that low right there, we might see a continuation that I don't know where it's ending. I don't see any demand to stop that. And that's why I might be holding that trade for longer. Let me see if I find something. Yeah, so all the way, there's nothing here really, not on the daily at least that I can see. Maybe if I go to the 1-minute chart, I could see something. But if we do break that last support from the 5-minute chart, we have a potential. I don't know if we're going to get there, but we have plenty of room to trade lower. So that's why I might consider just holding this trade. If I have the opportunity to maybe bring my stop loss lower or something, I might do that. And if this market just retraces, I will take the loss. But that was the setup. That's why I took this short right there. So I will see how that behaves when it tested these lows again. If I go to the 1-minute chart, you can see the price action better. So we had, that was the first touch. This is the second test of the now support area. So if we test this one more time, we have a higher probability of breaking this right now. If we think of this level as a floor or something, and we're just punching this floor 1 time, two times, 3 times, at some point that floor will break and will open the door for a moving higher. Now you can see this candle right here formed a tiny 1-minute chart supply demand. I'm sorry. So that's why we might see the prices bounce some more times before we finally break it. Or of course, this might hold as a support and might take the market all the way up, and then in that case I'll take the loss. Right now, thinking just 3 pips of profit doesn't make a lot of sense for me. So I just prefer to hold this longer and see how this behaves. So that's those are the majors and my view on major pairs, guys. If you have any other pair that you use to trade, just this is the moment to let me know so we can review it together. Dimitras, GBP CAD. Let's see that. GBP CAD. Are you short, Dimitras? You short there? And based on what time frame? 4 hour. You're short. Okay, I guess you're in profit right now. Yeah, we have. Yeah, we might see. Just be aware of the gap that we also have here. That might work as a support as well. So do expect a bounce of this gap. But nice trade. Yeah, good analysis. Let me see the daily. Yeah, I guess kind of neutral. So you can. I don't see any clear bias here. So you can trade either long and shorts. I do see this nice supply there. So if you took that short, that's a very nice trade. Dimitras, you're new to the fibers. Welcome. We do this analysis every day. Yeah, on Monday we do this, this scanning of the larger time frames, and then during the rest of the week we do some more intraday, maybe some swing trading together. Yeah, so you're welcome to come every day. Let's see, Aussie, New Zealand. Let's see that. Aussie, New Zealand. Who asked for that? Freddie, you're looking for to short based on the 4 hour. Yeah, I guess that would be a valid short. I like the supply right there. You have some more supply over there. So even if this is going to continue higher, I would expect, just as you are doing, I would expect any kind of movement down, maybe to that demand area right there or something. So yeah, I would be willing. I like the short of that pair, of course, based on your entry signals and your own entry analysis. But yeah, nice one. And what else we have here? Euro pound. Let's see that. Euro pound. Who asked for that? The Euro pound. AJ, you have any bias or time frame you're looking at, AJ? Short 4 hour. Are you already in a short trade, or are you looking to short? You already short. Are you? What's your entry price? Where do you get in? you got in all the way there, so you're in great shape. 90.50, let's see that. $90.50. Okay, so you're in a little drawdown. Where's your take profit? Where's your stop loss? Where's your stop loss placed? $90.90. So you're almost there. Okay, so I guess if you had a decent reason for taking that short, that's fine. I mean, if your analysis was in place and you needed to take the trade, that's the most important. Just always remember that we do not decide on the outcome of certain trade. We can only stick to our rules. Okay, that's the thing, and of course, trusting our system on the long run. Personally, the euro, the pound pairs for this week are very, very dirty. You can see even here. You can see all the tail activity. So for me, there are not very clear patterns or even supply or demand areas that I can rely on. I do see the gap. So if for short term, I would also be looking to sell this pair right here. We had this break right there, and that's the first retracement to that area. So this will act as a supply area. So I do expect a push lower. That would be normal market behavior, and we have the gap after that. So I would expect also this to work as resistance. So I guess your analysis and your bias was right. Maybe your timing was just not there. But if you, but that's fine. If you had to get into the trade right there, you did the right thing. Just like me right now. You see, now the market is proving me wrong, so it's going up. Now I have to decide, what do I do with this trade? Do I keep fighting the market, or I move on? Correct. Now, for me, I trust my process and my numbers on the long run, so I don't really get upset by any single trade. If I would like to, my analysis hasn't changed. So if I would keep trading the USDCAD, I would still be looking for selling this pair. I see supply there, and if that would be my final try for selling this market. Now, when I do scalp, and when I do go for short-term time frames, I usually stick to the Euro USD. That's my preferred one, just because of the spread. I like the spread on that one. And let's see what's going on here on the dollar yen. So we are breaking just now. So we have a breaking point right there. So that's the first retracement of that breaking area. You can see all this as a supply. Let me confirm that. So I do like this for a short. We might give it a try. I just need some more confirmation of the 5-minute chart, and I might take a short on this pair. Of course, based of the daily, this might end up forming a huge tail, and market just continuing marching higher and higher. But we will know that only backwards, correct? With the information I do have in front of me, I see a lot of selling pressure. So you know what? Let's give it a try. And my stop loss will be here. Now, this is just a trade without confirmation. We're visiting this supply area right now, so I would expect any kind of bounce, and I will wait a little bit, and with some more confirmation, I will enter a new sell on this market. I didn't adjust my size here. Okay, it doesn't matter. So with more confirmation of the 5-minute chart, if I have any, I will short again, and I will get myself into better and better entry points. If this market just shoots up, of course, I have nothing to do with that, and I'll take the loss right there. What confirmation I'm looking for? First, slowing momentum. So what was happening here, that was the first signals of confirmation. Okay, the market not accelerating against me, but slowing down towards that supply area. That's the first signal I'm looking for. And after that happens, if I have if I recognize a pattern, either a chart pattern or a candlestick pattern to give me more confirmation, I will also, of course, take that. But this candlestick right there, that's lack of confirmation, correct? So I need to wait. As we approach deeper zone into the supply area, so I do expect more sellers to come into the market and push this lower. So we'll keep an eye open on this one. So you can see now how prices start being pushed to the downside. Now you can see this bar, and then you can see this bar, and now you can see this bar. Now this bar was very, very bullish. Now we have slowing momentum, and now more slowing momentum. You know, in the same period of time, correct? These all are 5-minute candlestick periods of time. In the same period of time, the price is not moving the same distance to the upside. So, I expect, if this keeps slowing down, I expect a leg lower. Yeah, a hammer or something. I don't give a lot of weight to candlestick patterns based on 5-minute charts or 1-minute charts. For me, those are the least important ones. Yeah, but the fact that you do see a tail, that shows you rejection, correct? That shows that price visit that area and very quickly didn't stay there or was rejected from that area. So that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so you see the rejection of the supply area. So if prices closes that way, I will re-enter this market. And as the trade develops, I will adjust my stops to a better and better position. But this is a swap area. This was support. This was final demand right there. There was a breakout. Now this should be a swap area where support becomes resistance and demand becomes now supply. Okay, so this is a very high probability pattern. Of course, you never know, and price might not respect that, correct? Okay, just want to make sure I don't miss the trade. Okay, now it is important right now that it does not break this level. And by now, a new confirmation would be the break of that area right there. But you can see the indecision in the market. You can see up and down, up and down, up and down. Now, if this will break lower, you have many ways to. You have many ways to wait. Okay, I'm a bit late, but I will take it anyways. There are many ways to take a breakout, correct? So that was the breaking line. Now a way to trade a breakout is just, you know, like maybe a sell stop order, the breakout itself, or to wait for the breakout, which is happening right now, and then the first retracement to the breaking point, and then a continuation lower. So if you do get that, you have more confirmation that being a breakout, because taking the breakout itself, like I did right now, exposes yourself to fake outs. Okay, now I like the fact that it closed lower, but many times you see the break and then just a tail and a rejection, and you get caught into a fake out. So waiting for the confirmation and then first pull back to the breaking point and then the continuation, that's a safer way to trade breakouts. Now for both my positions, now my stop loss makes more sense having them there. There's no much if that level right there fails, we will likely see the price going all the way up, okay, to these levels right there. So there's no more, just makes no sense now holding the stop loss all the way up there. So now I've trailed my stop in my favor. And now let's go to the setup chart, which is the 5-minute one. And I want to see those support levels failing and price coming all the way down here, and of course ideally a break of those levels and a continuation lower. Now on the cat trade right here, I believe I lost something like 2 pips or 3 pips. Now you can see on this one, I'm already break even, correct? I'm already 3 pips in this one right here, which is the whole objective of trading, being balanced and keeping your losses short so you can overcome those ones quickly. Now I do like this setup. That's what I will hold these positions for a bit longer and see how they develop. But if you're nervous about your trade, you can always take partial profits or something and compensate for previous losses and moving on and start over and look for new setups. Now, this is everything's happening quick because we're trading on the lower time frames, but these same principles, you can apply them on higher time frames. Okay, demand, supply, breakouts, fake outs, they happen in all time frames. Yeah, Freddy, isn't where you have your stop loss at distribution zone 2? It could go up there. Yeah, you mean right there. Yeah, but you're completely right. But I believe if prices will come here, they will go all the way to the opposite side of the supply. So, so having my stop loss here or here or here, for me is basically the same. So I prefer to have them down there. Otherwise, I would have to have them all the way, maybe here or here, but that's a lot of risk that I don't want to take right now. So I'll keep them there. Now we need to watch for price because we have the breakout. Okay, and we said that's the first retracement, correct? We saw the breakout. Now show you. I am expecting the first retracement to the breaking zone, and then a continuation. So this pullback is a healthy pullback, and it's a pullback that I'm fine with it. I was expecting that one. If I hadn't taken the breakout itself, I'll be taking the short right now, okay, on the first retracement. So that pullback shouldn't make me nervous right now. What I want to see now are sellers coming in and pushing this market lower. If sellers fail to come in right now, okay, let me clean. Okay, we have this supply of the 1 minute chart. So if that supply area fails, that's the moment to start peeling off my trades and scaling off that trade, because if that area fails, market more likely will go up and take my stop losses. Okay, so sellers either come now or they won't come. Rashun, any course, you should go to the YouTube channel of the 5ers, and there's some good playlists on supply and demand. A lot of content there. So go there to the YouTube channel. Yeah, thank you, John. Yeah, Gil presented a great series of webinars on supply and demand. They're very valuable. And Gil focused a lot on larger timeframes, myself too, but I do, for the trading room, I do like to go to lower timeframes and show you similar concepts just based off lower timeframes. Now, you know the concept of I guess you're all familiar with scaling off when you're on a loss trade, on a winning trade. You know, when you take partial profits and then leave the rest of the trade to run in your favor. So if we are all familiar with those concepts, there's no reason for not doing that also on the losing side of the trades. So if you recognize the trade is more likely to fail, there's no reason for cutting part or taking part of your losses. Okay, instead of taking a full loss, you take half of losses, and that way you save yourself money and you improve your risk reward ratio. Okay, so in this case, okay, that supply, it's about to fail. So this is a great place for taking partial losses. Okay, same as we are very used to take partial profits. So go ahead and take partial losses. Okay, that's something not a lot of people practice, and it will make wonders for your statistics. Because right now, just waiting for this market to turn to the downside, it might happen, but right now it's just more hope than anything else. Okay, I do recognize this going to my stop losses. So why not just taking the loss before it gets to your take profit? Okay, so that's something you might consider applying right now, from now on. Guys, 2 for 2, 2 losses for 2, not something that happens very often. Market is not liking me today. So we either go to a new chart reading, yeah, that was one. That one was like 4 pips. Yeah, so about 7 pips loss for the day. Not big deal, but of course I like more the winning side than the losing side. John, close one in profit or in loss? Small 2 pip loss. Yeah, nice. Let me see if I find anything else, and if not, now seems like it's going to go all to the top of the supply. Now it has, at least on the 1 minute chart, has formed a higher low. So we might see some follow through to the upside. You had a decent win on Euro USD. Yeah, I also had some nice trades. think I'll try to switch to the long side right here. But you can see how we keep our losses very small. And when we do trade, when we do win, we win even here during the trading rooms, we win 20 pips, 30 pips, 40 pips. And when we lose just a few pips per trade. So that's the whole key for long-term profitable trading. This 5-minute chart, it's very unclear. It's forming kind of a quasi-model right now. You can see the break. Now it's visiting supply right there, and now pushing lower. So it looks like it wants to turn to the downside. Ben, no chance to enter Euro USD after 5-minute retracement short. Yeah, that's the same thing I saw. So you can see all this sideways market that looks like wants to turn around right now. So we could go to lower time frames and then wait for a pullback. Let's see if this breaks, and if it does, we can wait for a pullback and then a continuation lower. Charles, what FX pairs would you like to trade that they're not available right now? You mean exotic ones? Yeah, I don't think we'll be adding those any soon. We might if there's a lot of interest in those ones, but I don't think there's a lot of traders that trade those ones. And also the yeah, gold would be nice. Yeah, we're right now we are thinking on CFDs such as gold or silver we're figuring that out. Would be nice to have gold. So if prices Euro USD, and this might be the last trade for the day. If I have some more room to the upside, I will start shorting the Euro USD. Because if we do break to the downside, we have a nice potential to the downside. I don't see any demand here. All demand was consumed. Maybe till this area right there. So nice down movement might take prices to that area right there. And if that one fails, that's it. I'm done for the day. So either a movement to that area for shorting. Okay, let's see if that happens now. Now we can either get in blind or to look for some confirmation. So let's see how prices form. Okay, let's take this one. And let's see if we can get the break lower. If that tail fails, we might take partial losses as well, depending on how prices behave. Because this price might just keep ranging here. So we need to adapt with new information. But right now I'm trying to catch the break lower right there. Let's see if that happens. Euros price has been testing those daily support several times, not going on. How do you take partial loss? Yeah, it might go up, correct, or it might break down. We don't know that. If we knew, we would go all in, correct? Just you made an analysis and you take a trade, and backwards you will know better if that was the right or wrong decision, correct? But in real time, yeah, I could just justify moving higher with what I just told you. This has been just ranging, and this might continue going up and not moving from that area. I do see, there's lower lows forming right now, and slowing momentum in the overall chart. So I could expect it would be very very normal to have a little break lower. So that's what I'm aiming for. Of course, who knows? Market will prove us either right or wrong. We can just wait. How do you take partial loss? So if you're getting, let's say, with two positions, instead of one trade, you take two trades and then you take partial losses, or you either go here, right click, modify, and then you close part of the trade. That's the other way to take partial losses. And it's the and again, it's the opposite of taking partial wins, which we are all very familiar with, and we do that all the time. So So it's just for the losing side, which makes more sense than doing that for the winning side. Okay. Okay, guys, I think we'll wrap up here. I'll keep managing this last trade. If price goes up, but I see there's prices pushing this lower, I might add some more selling positions to get into a better entry point. Eventually, if this goes straight up, I will end up losing this trade right there. But thanks for coming. And tomorrow, remember, same time. I don't know who's hosting tomorrow. But thanks for coming, guys, and have a nice week. And see you next time. Bye bye.